I have a question for you. Do you think you're playing enough in your daily life, in your business, in your relationships, with your money, in your mind? This is a topic that has been coming up over the last couple of weeks with my people that I get to work with in my Manifesting Profits program for myself. It's something that I see come up a lot because we often have that belief that we got to work our buns off at all points in time, that kind of hustle mentality, and that if we stop and slow down, things might fall apart. We might not be successful. We might not get where we want to go. And I've definitely had the belief before that if you slow down, you won't get to the top. And I want us to consider what play means to us today on this episode of Max Potential Money, calling this one Work-Play Alignment for Lifestyle and Business Success. And I was cold in my office, so I'm sitting by my fire today, drinking my nice cup of tea and just thinking about all of you. And I typically, before I do episodes, I like to just sit down and meditate a little bit and have whatever come my way and think, okay, this is what needs to be talked about today. And, like I said, I just got back from a trip. And on that trip, I was debating, do I play the whole time? Do I work some of the time? How do I do this balanced thing? Is there such a thing as work-life balance? If there is, what does it look like? Is it a stage-based thing in your business? And, part of this podcast and this season is about me talking to you as I scale to the next level in my business. And I've been very clear and intentional about saying I'm not willing to work more to make more. My whole mantra is I want to work less to make more, and not work less meaning I don't love what I do. It's just that, okay, if I have a belief that in order to 10x my income, I need to 10x my output, boy, that's going to really stifle me. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're listening to this and you have that belief somewhere in you or have had that belief in the past. A lot of people I work with have this belief like, oh crap, I can't scale my business because I don't want to have any more input in the work arena. I got to have more playful time. And so I want you to think about manifestation, and in the energetic frequency of being the most magnetic manifester, you are in flow and being playful and having fun. Now, what this means is that your work feels like play a lot more than like pushing a boulder up a mountain, and like you're always going against the grain, or you feel terrified when you wake up. So if you're noticing that the first thing when you wake up in the morning is the thought like, oh shit, I've got so much to do today. I'm kind of scared. I don't know where my money's coming from. I don't have enough leads. I don't want to work any harder than I am, then you're lowering your frequency and you're causing yourself to be in a low energetic state, which makes your work harder. So actually the effort you put in pushes away the results, pushes away the money because you don't feel good. So playfulness is this really powerful way to raise your vibe and start to create a business and a lifestyle that's more successful. And when I say that, what that means is that if you want to have a lifestyle that you love, you've got to reverse engineer your business around that lifestyle you love. This kind of cracks me up because there was a coach that I was doing a co-hosted podcast with for a while, and he was a few years into his business and I had just started, and he would often talk to me about building his business around his lifestyle. And I kind of thought it was silly. I was like, dude, don't you love what you do? Why don't you want to work all the time? And I've come to realize that was a pretty significant avoidance strategy that I had going on in my mind, or a competing commitment, where I had this belief that you had to work hard to make money. And so I framed it that like, I love what I do so much, I want to do it all the time. While that is true, I do love what I do. I've balanced things out in a lot of ways because I have multiple values that I care about, right? I care about building my business. I care about helping you. I care about podcasting and teaching. Learning and teaching are my two highest values. So I love, love, love to learn. I learn every single day, and I love to teach. That's podcasting, speaking, when I do trainings with my clients, coaching falls into the line of teaching, so does consulting. And so I love doing those things, and I will never stop doing those things. I also have a family. I have a relationship. I love to work out. I love personal growth and development, which is part of learning, but I also love to meditate. So I've got other things in my life than only just working. And if I'm spending 95% of my waking day only on work, then I start to get a little bit out of whack for me. And so I want you to consider, what are your highest values? What do you love to do? And when I say your highest values, what are your highest priorities that you get up and spontaneously do every day? For me, that's reading and learning and teaching. Like, I love doing these things. I love doing them all day long. And I also want you to consider how playful you're being in each of these. Do you have a competing commitment where you think, I have to work hard in order to get to the play? Because what happens is the play doesn't come, because it's the be, do, have model. You got to go, oh, I'm going to be playful in everything that I do so that I can do fun work, and if you're listening and not watching, I'm doing work in quotes. Okay, so work could be play if you have a mindset around it that looks like play, right? So if you're thinking like, ooh, how can I make every day super fun? For me, it's like sitting by my fire and drinking my tea to do this episode. I'm like, oh, I don't need to be rigid about where I do it. And I'm loosening up over time. It's taken me time to get here. I used to think everything needed to be perfect. And I needed to make sure the video was perfect and the quality was perfect and the setting was perfect. And now I'm like, oh, I'm doing my video on the fly wherever I want to do it, because that's what's fun and playful for me. And it makes my workday flow with ease and joy, which causes me to be more magnetic. So I really want you to reflect and consider, what am I doing every day to create playfulness in everything that I do? And how can I step into this field of playfulness? I think of it as productive playfulness. How can I have my workday flow? Like, sometimes for me, it's listening to music. It's drinking my tea or multiple cups of tea throughout the day while I'm in my office. It's breaking up the day and going, oh, in the middle of the day, I'm going to do a break. I got an elliptical lately, and I have this cool desk that's attached to it, and I'll sometimes do my my learning on the elliptical, so I can be like, oh, I'm getting exercise and I'm learning at the same time. Just going on that trip, I decided, oh, I'm going to do the morning. I did some videos for my clients, interacted with them, then I go on a hike, then I come back and I do a little more work. And I used to think that I needed to be really perfect. So it's like, I would have never done a video without makeup, or after a hike being all sweaty. And now I'm like, you know what, screw perfection, and people need to know exactly who I am. And I want to build my business around my lifestyle, not the other way around. So my business fits into what I do. And yes, I'm not gonna lie to anyone and say like, oh, I work 4 hours a week to do what I do in my business. For me, that isn't something that is feasible at the moment with this stage of the game that I'm in my business. If I were 10 years into my business, sure, I think that's possible. Even 5 years into your business. But if you're in the startup phase and you're in the first few years of your business, you need to work full-time effort, treat it like a business. How can you be playful about it? So I know this episode has been a little bit all over the place in certain ways, but I wanted to have this reflective conversation with you and have you think about, where do I stand in my business in terms of playfulness and magnetism, and therefore manifesting what I want by creating a lifestyle and business that's built around playful fun. Because then you're going to be in alignment, and alignment equals results. Alignment equals attracting what you want. So when you're aligned, the law of attraction works for you instead of against you. When you're misaligned, the law of attraction brings you challenges that you don't necessarily want to help wake you up to getting back into alignment, because our true state is alignment, where we feel joyful and we get the results that we want, where we say we want something and we're able to produce it. That's alignment. And so I just want you to consider for today, where am I being playful? Where do I need to add more play? Do I need to take a trip and let some things go? This could even just be a day road trip somewhere. If you're not traveling during COVID, that's fine. Go on a trip, go on a hike, just take some time to be playful with your energy and then start to cultivate that habit so that you can be more magnetic with your money as you scale your business to whatever level you want to scale it to have the lifestyle and time freedom that you desire and deserve and are absolutely able to create. All right, if you love what you're listening to or watching, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, share it with friends, and I will be back next week. NFA money-making high fives for you. Thank you for listening to or watching this episode and for being a part of the NFA family. You are why I do what I do. If you're liking what you're learning here on Max Potential Money, you will definitely want to go to www.nfamasterclass.com to learn about the #1 deadly money mistake all entrepreneurs make. Again, that's www.nfamasterclass.com. Until next time, remember to be NFA today.